The white ship moved slowly through space like a gentle giant. Big red crosses painted on its sides showed everyone what it was. This was the Healing Dawn, a hospital ship from Earth. It carried no weapons, only doctors and medicine. Captain Hyun-woo Kim stood on the bridge and watched the stars. He was a calm man with kind eyes who had spent 20 years helping sick people across the galaxy. His ship was special. It went to places where wars happened and helped anyone who needed care. "Captain, we have more patients coming," said his officer. The young woman pointed at her screen. "3 ships full of hurt people." Hyun-woo nodded. "Tell Dr. Park to get ready. We will help them all." Down in the medical area, Dr. So-young Park moved between the beds. She was the best doctor on the ship. Her hands were always busy, always healing. Around her, nurses from different planets worked together. Some had blue skin, others had 4 arms, but they all wanted the same thing: to save lives. The medical rooms were full. Soldiers from 2 different armies lay next to each other. Yesterday they were shooting at each other. Today Dr. Park was fixing their broken bones and healing their wounds. This was how things worked on human hospital ships. War stopped at the door. "Doctor, the new patients are here," called Nurse Bae-ho Min. He was a big man with gentle hands who could calm any scared patient. The new arrivals were bad. Some had burns from laser weapons. Others had lost arms or legs. Dr. Park looked at each one and decided who needed help first. She did not ask which army they came from. Pain was pain, no matter who you were. In bed 12 lay Taemin Lee, a young human soldier. A bomb had taken both his legs while he was saving alien children from a burning building. He tried to joke with the nurses, but Dr. Park could see the sadness in his eyes. "Will I walk again?" he asked her one day. "We will do everything we can," she said, holding his hand. "Earth makes the best artificial legs in the galaxy. You will run again." The ship had been in the Kepler 442 system for 3 weeks now. This was neutral space where no fighting was allowed. All the big powers had agreed to this long ago. Hospital ships were safe here. Hospital ships were safe everywhere. For 40 years, no one had ever attacked a medical ship. That was about to change. Communication Officer Ji-hoon Choi sat at his station, listening to space radio. He heard the usual things: trade ships talking about cargo, passenger ships asking for directions. Then he heard something that made his blood cold. "Velthrim battleships moving toward us," he said to Captain Kim. 6 big ones. Hyun-woo frowned. The Velthrim were one of the armies fighting the war. Their ships were known for being fast and deadly. "Send them our medical codes. Tell them we are a hospital ship." Ji-hoon pressed buttons and sent the special signals that told everyone they were doctors, not soldiers. Every ship in space knew these codes. They meant, "Do not shoot, we help people." The Velthrim ships got closer. Their leader was Admiral Keth Moore, a mean alien who thought humans were weak. He looked at the white ship with its red crosses and felt angry. Too many of his enemies had been saved by human doctors. Too many of his soldiers had been healed and sent back to fight against him. "Sir, they are sending medical codes," said his officer. "I see them," Keth Moore said. His voice was cold like space itself. "I do not care." On the Healing Dawn, Captain Kim tried again. "This is Captain Hyun-woo Kim of the Earth medical ship Healing Dawn. We are protected by galactic law. We help all people, including your people. Please respond." Keth Moore smiled, showing sharp teeth. "All ships, target the human vessel. Fire when ready." The first plasma blast hit the ship's side. The whole vessel shook like a toy in a child's hand. Lights went out. People screamed. In the medical rooms, patients fell from their beds. "Red alert!" Captain Kim shouted. "All hands to emergency stations." But there were no emergency stations on a hospital ship. There were no guns to fire back. There were no shields strong enough to stop warships. All they could do was try to save people and hope the attack would stop. It did not stop. Dr. Park ran through the shaking corridors. The children's ward was hit bad. Little ones from many different planets were crying and scared. She grabbed as many as she could carry. "Everyone to the escape pods," she yelled. Another blast hit the ship. This one was bigger. The lights went out completely. Emergency power kicked in, making everything red and scary. Ji-hoon tried to send a message to Earth. His hands moved fast over the controls while the ship died around him. "This is the Healing Dawn," he said into his microphone. "We are under attack by Velthrim forces. They are shooting at a hospital ship. We are trying to evacuate. Tell Earth what happened here. Tell them we tried to save everyone. The ship's core was breaking. Dr. Park made it to the children's ward just as the ceiling fell in. She threw herself over 3 small alien children as metal and fire came down. Her last thought was of her brother back on Earth, and how proud he would be that she died trying to save children. Captain Kim stood on his bridge as it burned around him. He had gotten most of his crew to the escape pods, but he would not leave his ship. The captain's duty was clear. "Sir, we have to go." Nurse Min pulled at his arm. "Get to the pods," Kim said quietly. "That is an order." The reactor exploded like a small star. The healing dawn broke apart in seconds. Of the 847 people on board, doctors, nurses, patients, and crew from 12 different worlds, only 23 made it to escape pods. The Valthrim ships watched the hospital ship burn. Admiral Kethmore felt pleased with himself. He had sent a message to the humans. Their weakness would not be tolerated anymore, but he did not know what he had really done. He had just made the biggest mistake any alien had ever made. He had attacked human mercy itself. In their small escape pods, the survivors watched pieces of their ship float past like dead leaves. Taemin Lee, the soldier with no legs, held a dying alien child and cried. Not for his legs, but for all the good people who had just been murdered for trying to help others. The message Ji-hoon sent traveled toward Earth at the speed of light. It would take 3 days to get there. When it arrived, it would change everything. The galaxy had just learned what happened when you attacked a human hospital ship. Soon it would learn what humans did in response. 3 days later, the message reached Earth. Admiral Dong-Hyun-yoon sat in his office reading reports when his aide burst through the door. The young officer's face was white with shock. "Sir, you need to see this right now," the aide said, his voice shaking. The message from Ji-hoon Choi played on the big screen. Admiral Yoon listened to every word. He watched the data that showed 847 innocent people had been murdered. His hands slowly formed fists as he heard about Dr. Park dying to save alien children. "Get me the president," he said quietly. "Right now." Within an hour, every important person on Earth was in the same room. President Miran Song sat at the head of a long table. Around her were generals, admirals, and ministers. All of them had watched the recording. All of them were very angry. "They killed a hospital ship," said General Kwang-Soo Park, "not a warship, not a military base. A hospital ship full of doctors and sick children." President Song stood up. She was a small woman, but when she was angry, she seemed 10 feet tall. "For 40 years, our medical ships have helped everyone. We have saved millions of lives. We have asked for nothing in return except the right to heal people." She pressed a button and pictures appeared on the wall. Pictures of human doctors helping alien soldiers. Pictures of human nurses feeding alien babies. Pictures of human ships bringing medicine to planets that had been destroyed by war. "This is what we do," she said. "This is who we are. And they attacked us for it." Defense Minister Jae Sung-ko pulled up more pictures. These were different. These showed huge shipyards hidden behind the moons of distant planets. In the yards, thousands of workers built warships day and night. "Ma'am, Project Deep Shield is ready," he said. The room got very quiet. Everyone knew about Deep Shield, but no one talked about it. For 50 years, while Earth sent doctors and teachers to help the galaxy, they had also been building the largest war fleet in human history. Just in case, Admiral Yoon stood up. "The galaxy thinks we are soft because we heal instead of hurt. They think we are weak because we share instead of take. They are about to learn how wrong they are." On the wall, new pictures showed Earth's secret weapons. Ships that could move faster than anything else in space. Weapons that could destroy entire fleets. Soldiers trained to fight wars that the aliens had never imagined. President Song looked around the room. Every face showed the same thing, cold anger. "We will not file protests," she said. "We will not ask for meetings. We will not beg other governments to help us. We will do what humans do best." "What is that, ma'am?" asked a young general. "We will solve the problem ourselves." She pressed another button. Across Earth, secret military bases came alive. Ships that had been hidden for decades started their engines. Soldiers who had been living normal lives got messages telling them to report for duty. In-Soo Kang was Earth's smartest war planner. He had been working on this plan for 20 years, hoping he would never need it. Now he stood before a room full of Earth's best military minds. "This is Operation Hippocratic Oath," he said. "Named after the promise doctors make to help people. The aliens think they can attack our mercy. We will show them what happens when they do." He pointed at a star map that filled the wall. Red lines showed where Valthrim ships were located. Blue lines showed where Earth's secret fleet would attack. "We will not destroy their planets," Kang said. "We will not kill their civilians. But we will remove their ability to make war. We will capture everyone who was involved in attacking the Healing Dawn, and we will make sure this never happens again." Captain Woo Jin Park stood in the hangar looking at his new ship. The Retribution's Edge was the biggest warship humans had ever built. It was painted black like the space between stars, and it carried enough weapons to level a small moon. Woo Jin was Dr. So Young Park's brother. When he heard that his sister had died saving alien children, he did not cry. He did not scream. He just asked for the biggest ship in the fleet and permission to use it. "Sir, the fleet is ready," said his second-in-command. Commander Haksujang Woo Jin looked out at the vast fleet assembling around Earth. 200 ships in the first wave, 800 more behind them, all of them crewed by humans who were tired of having their kindness seen as weakness. "Signal all ships," Woo Jin said. "We launch in 1 hour." On Earth, retired soldiers came out of retirement. Seok Jin Lim had been growing vegetables on a farm for 10 years. When the call came, he put down his tools and picked up his uniform. At 60 years old, he could still outfight aliens half his age. "Why are you going back?" his wife asked him. "They attacked a hospital ship, dear," he said, kissing her goodbye. "Some things cannot be allowed." Around the galaxy, alien governments watched the news about the Healing Dawn. Most felt sad. Some felt angry. A few felt scared because they knew what humans were like when they got angry. The Caraxian Republic had been fighting the Velthrim for 20 years. Their president, an old alien with blue skin and 4 arms, called an emergency meeting. "The humans are mobilizing," his general told him. "Satellite scans show massive fleet movements from Earth." "Good," the president said. "The Velthrim just made enemies of the one species that could end this war in a week. Should we offer to help them?" "No, the humans will not want our help. They will want to handle this themselves. That is their way." He was right. Earth had sent no messages asking for allies. They had made no deals with other governments. They were going to solve this problem the human way, completely and finally. Admiral Keth Moore sat in his command ship, feeling pleased with himself. He had destroyed the human hospital ship and shown the galaxy that Velthrim power was not to be questioned. He expected the humans to complain to the Galactic Council. Maybe they would stop sending medical ships to help his enemies. He did not expect what actually happened. His aide ran onto the bridge, holding a data pad that showed long-range sensor readings. "Sir, we have a problem," the aide said. "A big problem? What kind of problem?" "The kind with 200 human warships heading straight for us." Kethmore looked at the data and felt his blood turn cold. The humans had ships he had never seen before. Ships that moved too fast and carried too many weapons. Ships that were clearly built for one purpose: war. "How long until they get here?" he asked. 18 hours, sir." Kethmore stared at the screen showing the human fleet. Each ship was larger than his own command vessel. Each one carried enough firepower to destroy his entire battle group. He had thought the humans were weak healers who would cry and beg when hurt. Instead, he had just learned that the people who made the best doctors also made the best soldiers. And now they were coming for him. "Send a message to all Velthrim forces," he said, his voice shaking. "Tell them the humans are coming. Tell them to prepare for war." But he knew it was too late. The humans were not coming to fight a war. They were coming to end one. And everyone in the galaxy was about to learn what Earth's mercy looked like when it carried a sword. The human fleet did not attack where Admiral Kethmore expected them to attack. Captain Junho Nam commanded a group of 20 fast ships. While Kethmore waited for a big battle, Junho was hitting supply lines 3 star systems away. His ships moved like ghosts, appearing just long enough to destroy fuel depots and weapon factories before vanishing back into space. "Target destroyed." "Sir," reported his weapons officer after they blew up another Velthrim supply station. "No civilian casualties," Junho nodded. This was important. Earth's orders were clear. Hurt their war machine, not their people. The humans wanted the galaxy to see the difference between justice and revenge. On the bridge of the Retribution's Edge, Captain Woo Jin Park studied the tactical display. Red dots showed Velthrim positions. Blue dots showed human forces. The red dots were disappearing one by one. "Sir, we have taken out 60% of their supply network," reported Commander Jang. "Their ships are running out of fuel and ammunition." "Good," Woo Jin said. "Now they know what it feels like to be helpless. Admiral Kethmore watched his empire fall apart around him. Every day brought new reports of destroyed bases and captured supply ships. The humans fought like nothing he had ever seen. They were precise, efficient, and completely ruthless in their targeting. "How are they doing this?" he demanded from his intelligence officer. "Sir, they seem to know exactly where all our important facilities are. They hit our fuel refineries yesterday. Today they destroyed our ammunition factories. Tomorrow they will probably attack our communication relays." Kethmore slammed his fist on the table. "Can we not catch even one of their ships?" "No, sir. They are too fast. And when we try to chase them, more human ships appear behind us." The truth was that Earth had been watching Veilthrim movements for years. Human spy satellites had mapped every base, every supply route, every weakness. When the time came to strike, Earth knew exactly where to hit. Commander He Jin-Yu showed how advanced human technology really was. Her ship, the Silent Scalpel, could become invisible to most sensors. She took her crew deep into Veilthrim space to attack their most protected stronghold. "Approaching target," whispered her pilot, even though no one could hear them in space. Everyone spoke quietly when they were this deep in enemy territory. The Veilthrim stronghold was a massive space station protected by shields and surrounded by patrol ships. It controlled communication for the entire region. If Yejin could destroy it, half the enemy fleet would be unable to talk to each other. "Beginning infiltration," she said. Her ship moved like a shadow, sliding between the patrol ships without being seen. Special human technology made them invisible to Veilthrim sensors. The humans had spent decades studying alien detection methods and building ways to beat them. "We are inside their shield perimeter," reported her engineer. "All systems are still invisible." Hyejin smiled. "Lock onto their main computer core. Prepare the virus." Instead of destroying the station, the humans did something much smarter. They planted a computer virus that would slowly shut down all Veilthrim communications. It would take days for the aliens to figure out what was wrong, and by then it would be too late. "Virus deployed," said the computer specialist. "It will activate in 6 hours. Take us home," Yejin ordered. Nice and quiet, the Silent Scalpel slipped away as invisibly as it had arrived. 6 hours later, when the virus activated, the entire Veilthrim communication network crashed. Suddenly, hundreds of ships could not talk to their commanders or each other. On the other side of the galaxy, Squadron leader Seung Ho An faced a group of retreating Veilthrim ships. These aliens had decided they did not want to fight humans anymore and were trying to run away. Seung Ho opened a communication channel. "Veilthrim vessels, this is Earth Squadron 7. You are fleeing a combat zone. Please state your intentions." The alien commander responded with anger. "Human scum, you attack supply stations like cowards. Face us in real battle." Seung Ho sighed. He had hoped they would surrender. "Sir, we are offering you safe passage if you lay down your weapons and submit to arrest." "Your choice, never," the alien screamed. "All ships attack the humans!" What happened next became famous across the galaxy. The battle lasted exactly 14 minutes and 12 seconds. The Veilthrim had 12 ships. The humans had 8. When it was over, all 12 alien ships were destroyed and all 8 human ships were undamaged. The humans fought with a level of skill that seemed impossible. They moved their ships like dancers, always in the right place at the right time. Their weapons hit targets from distances that should have been impossible. Their tactics were so advanced that the aliens never had a chance. News of the battle spread quickly. Other alien species watched the recordings and felt their blood turn cold. The Veilthrim were known as good fighters, but the humans had destroyed them without effort. The Caraxian president called another emergency meeting. "Show me those battle recordings again," he told his military advisor. The alien general played the video of Seung Ho's squadron destroying the Veilthrim ships. They watched it 3 times without saying anything. "Sir, should we be worried?" the general finally asked. "About the humans attacking us?" "No, they only fight when attacked first. But sir, I think this war is about to end very quickly." He was right. The Zenthari Federation, which had been neutral in the conflict, sent a secret message to Earth asking for a non-aggression treaty. The Melody Empire offered to help supply the human fleet. Everyone wanted to be friends with Earth now. Dr. Eugene Choi, one of the few survivors from the Healing Dawn, joined the war fleet aboard the new hospital ship Never Again. This ship was different from other human medical vessels. It carried doctors and medical supplies, but it also carried enough weapons to destroy a small moon. "Why do we need weapons on a hospital ship?" asked a young nurse. Dr. Choi looked out at the stars. Because the galaxy needs to learn that attacking human mercy has consequences. We will still heal anyone who needs help, but now everyone will know what happens if they try to stop us. She began broadcasting messages to Valthrim forces. Her voice was calm and kind like all human doctors. This is Dr. Yoo-Jin Choi speaking to all Valthrim personnel, she said. I am a survivor of the attack on the Healing Dawn. I watched my friends die while trying to save your people. But I am still here, and I am still ready to help any of you who are hurt. All you have to do is surrender, and we will treat your wounds with the same care we gave your soldiers before you attacked our ship. The message had a strange effect on Valthrim forces. Many of them had been treated by human doctors at some point. They remembered the kindness and skill of human medical teams. Now they were fighting the same people who had saved their lives. Surrender rates among Valthrim forces began to increase rapidly. Admiral Kethmore watched his fleet fall apart. In 3 months, he had lost 60% of his ships without destroying a single major human vessel. His supply lines were gone. His communications were compromised. His soldiers were surrendering rather than fighting. Sir, we are receiving another broadcast from the human doctor, his communication officer reported. Turn it off, Kethmore snarled. Sir, the crew wants to hear it. They say it reminds them of the time human doctors saved their lives. Kethmore felt panic rising in his chest. He was losing his own soldiers to human kindness. Even while fighting a war, the humans were winning hearts and minds by offering to heal their enemies. All ships, he broadcast to his remaining fleet, prepare for a final attack on the human homeworld. If we cannot win this war, we will make them pay a price they will never forget. It was the worst decision he could have made. Earth had been holding back, hoping the Valthrim would surrender. Now they were threatening human civilians. President Song received the intelligence report in her office. She read it twice, then activated her communication system. All fleet commanders, this is the President. The enemy has threatened our home. Authorization code Omega is now in effect. Show them what happens when someone threatens Earth itself. Across the human fleet, weapons that had been kept in reserve came online. Ships that had been holding back moved to attack positions. The galaxy was about to see humanity's full military power for the first time. The gentle doctors of Earth were about to become something much more dangerous. Admiral Kethmore's attack on New Sol was meant to force Earth to negotiate. Instead, it sealed his fate. Colonel Byung-Ho Shin commanded the defense of humanity's largest colony world. When the Valthrim attack fleet arrived, he was ready for them. The planet's orbital defenses had been quietly upgraded over the past month, and 3 human battle groups were waiting in the asteroid belt. Enemy ships are entering our system, reported his tactical officer. 12 heavy cruisers and 4 battleships. Let them come closer, Shin said calmly. I want them to see what they are about to attack. New Sol was home to 8 million humans and 2 million aliens who had chosen to live under Earth's protection. It had schools, hospitals, parks, and museums. It was everything that made human civilization beautiful. The Valthrim ships opened fire on the civilian areas first. They are targeting the schools, his officer said, voice tight with anger. All defensive systems open fire, Shin ordered. Show them what happens when you attack human children. The battle for New Sol lasted 6 hours. When it ended, all 16 Valthrim ships were destroyed or captured. The human defenders lost 3 ships and suffered minimal casualties. But 200 civilians on the planet's surface had died in the initial attack. Among them were 37 children. President Song received the casualty report in her office. She read each name carefully, memorizing the faces of the dead children. Then she activated a communication system that connected her to every human military commander in the galaxy. This is President Song, she said, her voice cold as space itself. They have killed our children. Authorization code final is now in effect. Bring me Admiral Kethmore and everyone who served under him. Bring them alive. I want them to answer for what they have done. Admiral Jin'e Ryu commanded Earth's newest superweapon. The Healing Dawn II was both hospital ship and mobile command center. It carried the most advanced medical facilities in the galaxy, but it also carried enough firepower to level continents. Ma'am, we are approaching the Valthrim home system, reported her navigation officer. Signal all ships, Jin'e said. Operation Final Lesson begins now. The human fleet that approached the Valthrim homeworld was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. 500 ships moved in perfect formation, their weapons charged and their crews ready for battle. At their head flew the Healing Dawn 2, its white hull gleaming with red medical crosses, but its weapon ports open and ready. The message was clear. Earth's mercy and Earth's wrath were the same force. On the Valthrim homeworld, panic spread through the capital city. Everyone knew the humans were coming. Everyone knew what had happened to their military forces. The government had already fled to underground bunkers, leaving the civilians to face whatever was coming. Human fleet is broadcasting a message, reported the planetary defense. Commander, put it through, ordered the acting. Governor Admiral Jeannie's face appeared on screens across the planet. She looked calm and professional, like a doctor about to perform surgery. People of the Valthrim homeworld, she said. I am Admiral Jin Ryu of the Earth Fleet. We are here to arrest the war criminals who ordered the attack on our hospital ship and the murder of our children. We have no quarrel with civilian populations. If you cooperate with our forces, no harm will come to you. If you resist, we will do what is necessary to complete our mission. The planetary governor stared at the screen. How many ships do they have? 500, sir. All of them larger and more advanced than anything we have ever built. And how many ships do we have to defend the planet? 34, sir. Most of them are damaged from previous battles. The governor was quiet for a long moment. Then he reached for his communication controls. All Valthrim forces, this is Governor Maltoth. Stand down and allow the human forces to land. Do not resist. That is an order. Some of the younger officers wanted to fight anyway. They gathered their ships and tried to stop the human landing. The battle lasted 23 minutes. When it was over, those ships were floating debris, and the human forces continued their mission without slowing down. General Subin Quan led the ground forces that landed on the Valthrim homeworld. Her soldiers moved with precision and discipline, securing military bases and government buildings while carefully avoiding civilian areas. Resistance is minimal, reported her aide. Most of their forces are surrendering without a fight. Good, Subin said. Set up medical stations in every district. I want their civilians to see that we are still doctors and healers, even while we are soldiers. The sight of human troops setting up medical tents and treating injured Valthrim civilians confused many aliens. They had expected conquest and destruction. Instead, they got professional occupation and free medical care. A Valthrim child with a broken arm was brought to one of the medical stations. The human doctor who treated her was the same species that had just conquered their world, but she was gentle and kind as she fixed the child's injury. Why are you helping me? The child asked in broken human language. Because you are hurt, the doctor replied. That is what we do. Meanwhile, human special forces had located Admiral Kethmore's bunker. Commander Dalsu Wang led the team that broke through the defenses and captured the alien admiral alive. You have no right to be here, Kethmore screamed as human soldiers put restraints on him. This is sovereign Valthrim territory. You lost that right when you attacked a hospital ship, Wang said calmly. You are under arrest for war crimes against sapient beings. They found Kethmore's senior staff in the same bunker. All of them were captured alive and unharmed. Earth wanted them to face trial, not execution. The conquest of the Valthrim homeworld took less than 24 hours. Human forces occupied only military and government targets. They established humanitarian zones and began providing aid to civilian populations. Even in victory, humanity refused to abandon its principles. But the galaxy understood the message. Earth could have destroyed the planet and everyone on it. Instead, they chose to capture it perfectly, with minimal casualties and maximum precision. They had proven that they could end any war whenever they chose to do so. The Caraxian president watched the news broadcast from his office. His military advisor stood beside him, both of them staring at images of human soldiers distributing food to Valthrim civilians. Sir, should we be concerned about human expansion? The advisor asked. No, the president said. Look at what they are doing. They conquered a planet and immediately started helping the people they conquered. These are not conquerors. These are people who solve problems. He was right. Within a week, the Valthrim homeworld was running better than it had in decades. Human engineers had repaired damaged infrastructure. Human doctors had set up hospitals in areas that had never had proper medical care. Human teachers were helping Valthrim children learn about other cultures. The galaxy watched in amazement as the victorious humans spent more effort helping their former enemies than most species spent helping their allies. Admiral Kethmore sat in a holding cell aboard the Healing Dawn 2, waiting for his trial. Through his small window, he could see human medical staff treating Velthrim prisoners with the same care they gave their own wounded. A human guard brought him his meal. It was good food, properly prepared for Velthrim dietary needs. "Why?" Kethmore asked the guard. "Why do you treat us so well after what I did?" The guard looked at him for a moment. "Because treating people well is who we are," he said. "You tried to change that by attacking our mercy. All you did was prove that our mercy is stronger than your hate." Kethmore turned away from the guard and stared out at the stars. For the first time, he was beginning to understand what he had really attacked. He had not just destroyed a hospital ship. He had challenged the fundamental nature of human civilization, and he had lost. The news of Earth's victory spread across the galaxy faster than light. Every species that had ever been helped by human doctors understood what it meant. The gentle healers of Earth were also the most dangerous warriors in known space, but they only fought when their principles were attacked. In his cell, Kethmore realized that he had not just lost a war. He had given the galaxy a demonstration of human power that would be remembered for 1,000 years. Every future aggressor would have to consider whether their cause was worth facing the full might of Earth's response. He had intended to prove that humans were weak. Instead, he had proven that they were the strongest species in the galaxy, precisely because they chose to be gentle most of the time. The trial was about to begin, and the galaxy was watching. The trial of Admiral Kethmore became the most watched event in galactic history. Judge-Prosecutor Young-Mi Han stood before a tribunal representing 17 different species. The courtroom was on a neutral space station, built specially for this trial. Representatives from every major civilization in the galaxy had come to watch justice being served. "Members of the tribunal," Young-Mi began, "we are here to judge crimes against the most basic laws of civilized space. The deliberate attack on a medical vessel in neutral territory, resulting in the deaths of 847 innocent beings." She activated a holographic display that showed the healing dawn in its final moments. The tribunal watched in silence as the white ship with its red crosses burned in space. The defendant did not attack a military target, Young-Mi continued. He did not attack a strategic position. He attacked mercy itself. Admiral Kethmore sat in the defendant's chair, flanked by his lawyers. He looked smaller now than he had during the war. The weight of what he had done seemed to have crushed something inside him. His defense lawyer, a respected Zinthari legal expert, stood to address the tribunal. "Honored judges, my client acted during a time of war. Military commanders must make difficult decisions. The hospital ship was helping his enemies recover and return to battle." Young-Mi smiled coldly. "Your Honor, I would like to call our first witness." Captain Hyunwoo Kim walked slowly into the courtroom. The miracle of his survival had amazed the galaxy. He had been found 3 months after the attack, barely alive in a damaged stasis pod. Human medical technology had brought him back from the edge of death. "Captain Kim," Young-Mi said gently, "please tell the tribunal what happened aboard your ship." Hyunwoo spoke in a clear, calm voice. "We were treating patients from both sides of the conflict. Velthrim soldiers lay in beds next to Caraxian soldiers. Our doctors made no distinction between them. Pain is pain, regardless of who you are." He described the final moments of his ship in detail, how Dr. Park had died saving alien children, how his crew had tried to evacuate everyone, regardless of species, how they had followed every law of space warfare and medical neutrality. "Did your ship carry any weapons?" Young-Mi asked. "None," Hyunwoo replied. "Our only defenses were our medical status and the protection of galactic law." The tribunal listened to every word. Some of the alien judges had tears in their eyes as they heard about the final moments of the medical staff. Kethmore's lawyer tried to cross-examine the captain. "Captain Kim, is it not true that your ship was extending the war by healing enemy combatants?" Hyunwoo looked directly at Kethmore. "Sir, we heal people because it is right. We do not choose sides in conflicts. We choose the side of life over death, hope over despair." The defense had no response to that. Over the following days, survivor after survivor testified. Nurse Bae-ho Min, who had lost his arm in the attack, described how Velthrim patients had tried to protect human doctors during the final moments. Taemin Lee, the soldier who had lost his legs, spoke about watching alien children die while their parents begged for help that would never come. Dr. Yujin Choi's testimony was the most powerful of all. She described watching her colleagues die while trying to save the lives of people whose own military had just attacked them. Even as our ship burned, she said, our doctors were still trying to help the Valtrim patients. That is who we are. That is what Admiral Keth Moore attacked. The prosecution presented evidence of communications between Keth Moore and his fleet. The recording showed clearly that he knew he was attacking a hospital ship. He knew he was violating every law of civilized warfare. He had chosen to do it anyway. I did what was necessary, Keth Moore finally said when he took the stand. The humans were too effective at saving my enemies. Their mercy was a weapon against my people. Young me stared at him. So you decided to answer mercy with murder? I decided to win a war. Instead, you lost everything. The trial lasted 2 weeks. When it ended, the tribunal took only 1 hour to reach their verdict. Guilty on all charges, announced the head judge, a wise old melody with silver skin and 4 eyes. The attack on the Healing Dawn was a crime against all sapient life. The defendant will be sentenced to life imprisonment on Earth, where he will serve in human medical facilities, caring for the sick and wounded of all species. Many aliens were surprised by the sentence. They had expected execution or lifelong imprisonment in isolation. Instead, the humans had chosen something more complex, forced redemption through service. Keth Moore would spend the rest of his life learning what it meant to heal instead of hurt. He would see the faces of the people he helped, and remember the faces of those he had killed. It was a punishment that would change him more than death ever could. The trial's end brought sweeping changes to galactic civilization. The Sol Accords were strengthened and expanded, with Earth serving as the guarantor of medical neutrality. No hospital ship would ever again sail the void alone and unprotected. Fleet Admiral Dong Hyun Yoon oversaw the establishment of the Galactic Medical Protection Service. Human warships would escort medical vessels from all species, ensuring that healers could work without fear. The first convoy under the new system included the hospital ship Healing Dawn III, accompanied by the escort carrier Dr. So-Young Park. The message was clear to anyone watching. Humanity's mercy and humanity's strength were now one unified force. Dr. Yu-Jin. Choi returned to her calling as a doctor, but she carried new responsibilities. As Earth's ambassador for medical neutrality, she traveled the galaxy speaking about the importance of protecting healers. We do not ask much, she would tell audiences of alien leaders. We ask only for the right to heal your people when they are hurt. In return, we promise that we will heal them regardless of who they are or what side of a conflict they support. Her words carried weight, because everyone knew what happened when that right was violated. Taemin Lee, walking again on advanced prosthetics, became a symbol of human resilience. His final speech to the Galactic Assembly became famous across known space. You wanted to see what humans do when you attack our mercy, he said. Now you know. We do not just get angry. We get systematic. We do not just seek revenge, we prevent future tragedies, and we never ever forget. He paused and looked around the assembly chamber, his eyes meeting those of representatives from dozens of species. But we also never stop healing. We never stop helping. We never stop believing that life is better than death, that hope is stronger than fear, that mercy is the greatest strength any civilization can possess. The applause that followed lasted for 10 minutes. Admiral Keth Moore began his sentence at the Central Medical Complex on Earth. On his first day, he was assigned to help feed patients in the children's ward. The human supervisor, a kind elderly nurse named Mrs. Park, showed him how to properly hold a bottle for an alien infant. Be gentle, she said. This little one was hurt in a transport accident. She needs care and comfort. Keth Moore looked down at the small creature in his arms. She had blue skin and 4 eyes, just like his own species. She looked up at him with complete trust, not knowing that he was the one who had brought so much death to the galaxy. Why do you trust me with this? He asked the nurse. Because everyone deserves a chance to choose healing over hurting, she replied. Even you. That night, alone in his small but comfortable room, Keth Moore wept for the first time since his capture. He wept for the children who had died on the Healing Dawn. He wept for the doctors who had died trying to save his own people. He wept for all the years he had spent choosing violence over understanding. It would take time, but eventually he would learn what the humans had tried to teach the galaxy all along, that true strength came from building life, not destroying it. The story of the Healing Dawn spread to every corner of known space. Earth's hospital ships once again traveled freely, their red crosses gleaming against white hulls. But now they were accompanied by sleek warships bearing a simple message painted on their hulls. In memory of the healing dawn. Touch one, answer to all. Humanity had proven that a species capable of perfect mercy was equally capable of perfect war. More importantly, they had shown that mercy guided by strength could change the galaxy for the better. The doctors and nurses of Earth continued their work, healing anyone who needed help. But now everyone understood the truth. Behind every act of human kindness stood the full might of Earth's military, ready to protect those who chose to heal rather than hurt. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Attacking mercy had consequences that lasted forever, and humanity would always remember, always protect, and always ensure that such a tragedy could never happen again. In medical schools across human space, new doctors took the Hippocratic Oath with an addition that had not existed before. We swear to heal all who need healing, to protect the innocent, and to remember that our mercy is backed by the sword of justice. The healing dawn was gone, but its spirit lived on in every human medical ship that followed, and the galaxy was safer because of it.